welcome. You're watching The Social Network. I'm Rishika Barwa. Top story tonight. Lie down and enjoy rape is a comment that was made by an MLA on the floor of the Karnataka Assembly that sparked a massive outrage online. Social media users say sack the MLA and those who laughed at these deplorable comments. Also on the show today, we will tell you what Indians Googled in the year 2021, the year in Google searches is something we break down for you. And finally, we'll introduce you to the trans woman who designed Harnaaz Sandhu's Miss Universe gown, the winning gown of Miss Universe. Well, we'll introduce you to the designer. But first, our top story tonight is those deplorable comments that were made by the Karnataka Congress leader who said, and I quote, "There is a saying, when rape is inevitable, lie down and enjoy it." He made these comments on the floor of the Karnataka Assembly. They've reverberated online with netizens, social media users demanding that this MLA and all those people who laughed at him should in fact be sacked, to send out a message. Now this led to, these comments led to laughter, they led to cheer from members and the Assembly Speaker. Take a look.
There is a saying, when rape is inevitable, lie down and enjoy it.
Now first the MLA refused to apologize. Then when he did apologize, he actually made it worse for himself. The Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar said, if it hurts the sentiments of women, I have no problem in apologizing. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Take a look.
ಅಪರಾಧ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಬಂದು ತೀರ್ಪು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕ್ಷಮೆಯನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತೇನೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ.
All right, so this is what has sparked a massive outrage online, and while there has been condemnation coming in from politicians, the question is, will they really walk the talk? There are several political leaders and common people who've tweeted about this, who have put it up on their Instagram status that they're completely outraged with what has happened. But is there really going to be any action that will be taken? Will there be a message that will be sent out? Priyanka Chaturvedi, Rajya Sabha MP and leader of the Shiv Sena, joins us on the broadcast. We also have Jyoti Mani, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress, with us. Thank you both very much for joining us. Ms. Jyoti Mani, I want to begin by asking you, you just retweeted what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra tweeted about this entire episode. 24 hours later, she's come out and condemned it. But is that condemnation at this point enough, given the deplorable nature of the remark that was made, the fact that it was further made into a joke, and the apology actually went ahead and made it worse? Is, coming out and wholeheartedly condemning a statement enough?
See, Congress party wholeheartedly condemned it. Not only that, misogyny in any form have no place in the civilized society. It should be condemned in the strongest of words, irrespective of political affiliations. Congress party always stood by the woman and their woman empowerment. So that is why Congress party seek an explanation from the MLA, and both the in charge Karnataka, Mr. Randeep ji, and the Karnataka State President D.K. Shivakumar ji, both have strongly condemned it. D.K. Shivakumar ji went one step ahead and asked the apology from the woman of Karnataka and ensure that this will not repeat again. So this is the Congress party response. So we have seen in the past, there are rapists like Guldeep Singh Sengar being protected by the BJP and the current government, both UP and Delhi Union Government of India. When Kathua rape incident happened, BJP raised the national flag in favor of the rapist. So we are not such party. We are condemning it unequivocally. We did it. Okay,
so you're saying that you condemned it. In fact, you're saying you went one step ahead and sought an apology. That, according to you, is enough. Priyanka Chaturvedi, you tweeted today to say that
we are not saying it's enough.
You tweeted today to say that if it hurts, is that really even an apology? If it hurts, does that apology cut ice? Does just an apology, Priyanka Chaturvedi, cut ice?
No, actually, it should have been an apology without any ifs and buts. And the apology should not be just to the women. It has to be across gender in this particular case, because you've trivialized something which is so heinous in nature. You've cracked jokes on it. And for the Speaker of the House on presiding on that day, for him to say, okay, he's apologized, let's move on, also shows that he is equally guilty of allowing such kind of trivialization to happen and talk about a heinous crime in such light tones. It has offended not just women of this country, it has offended one and all. I think every father of a daughter would be offended. Every person I know, every brother to a sister would be offended. So I think it should have been an apology without any ifs and buts, and that is what I would say would be course correction in the best way possible. While I appreciate everyone who's come forward and spoken about it, but he himself hasn't really apologized.
What do you say to users, and we're putting out some of those tweets on our screens right now. Several people, Ms. Jyoti Mani, who've come out and said that an apology is just not enough. Heads have to roll, action has to be taken.
See, not only it's if and but. He said, I would like to express my sincere apologies to everyone for the indifferent and negligent comment I made in today's assembly about rape. My intention was not to trivialize or make light of the heinous crime, but an off-the-cuff mark. I will choose my words carefully henceforth. So he clarified again. So we ensure that actually that there should not be if and but. See, this is not a single incident. See, there is a speaker, the current speaker from the BJP, who also laughed at it. There is no single condemnation from the BJP. No, he is not issued any apology.
Does that justify your stand? No, does that justify your stand? Does the wrongdoing of the BJP justify the fact that you've said an apology is enough and it's okay?
No. We are not saying BJP and Congress never be comparable. BJP, there are
but
many
you just
MPs,
made the comparison.
Who've been turned out as the... No, I'm just... Let me speak. So there are... We need to compare things when the party, in the ruling party of the country, you spread misogyny as an ideology by the RSS, who sees women as just a body, not as a soul, not as a talent. So there is an ideology in this country also which rules it. So we should draw the comparison and tell people actually this is not only with the political parties, the misogyny is spread as an ideology in this country by the organization of ruling BJP and the government itself.
That is why this misogynistic mindset is perpetuated by the fact that we accept apologies. Whether they are with ifs or buts, we accept apologies. We don't take action. Don't you think that perpetuates this misogyny?
One thing I'd want to say here, and I must appreciate one thing, that one political party, the MLA belongs to that political party, they have come forward and they have condemned it without any ifs and buts. That's point one. Point two that I'd like to mention here, and what becomes extremely important, that when we seek action, action should be sought from the way this entire disease of trivializing rape, treating women is spreading across the length and breadth of this country. We are in a situation where women are judged on the basis of their clothes they wear. Then we see things like Sully deals happen on social media platforms. We see clubhouse chats which are auctioning women. Yet we see silence coming from those who are in power. I have written multiple times to the IT minister seeking action upon these people. By just saying that, okay, we've suspended those accounts, don't help. Arrests need to happen. So when you have, a system which is constantly defending such kind of indefensible behavior is unacceptable. And I do agree with Jyoti Mani here that on one hand, BJP is demanding for action from this particular person. And on the other hand, they haven't even condemned what the speaker was doing. In fact, one of their, in their press meet today, one of their woman spokesperson ended up saying that this is condemn-worthy, that the speaker did not say anything. Her clip has been removed. That's the kind of misogyny they promote, that they will not even acknowledge. And I want to tell you one thing, and this is about politics.
No, but
assuming the Congress party, assuming, just 1 second, listen, assuming the Congress party does take action of what happened under the, I would say, chairmanship of the speaker, who should have taken action first? Shouldn't it come from the chairman of the assembly?
No, but my
When we
question
talk
here,
about the
my question
political
here
party-
is, no, my question here is, look, I'm reflecting the mood online, and the mood online, what people have been writing, these are hashtags that have been trending, by the way, all over India for the last 24 hours. Hashtag SAC, hashtag Karnataka Assembly, hashtag Congress MLA. I mean, these are all hashtag speaker. They've all been trending for the last 24 hours. The mood online is very simple. They are not differentiating between who is BJP, who is Congress. Congress MLA made
Absolutely.
statement, BJP MLA laughed. The narrative is very simple. How can we forgive? Jyotimani, do you want to respond to that? How can we forgive? As a woman, if you remove your political affiliation, can you forgive? Because the narrative online is unforgiving.
So this is actually an unforgiven act. That is why we came, not only one person, the entire party came out in public, and we are strongly condemned it. We forced the MLA to apologize. As I earlier said, one step ahead, the Karnataka Congress Committee President actually take the responsibility and apologize it and said we ensure that this is not happening.
Well, I have to say,
why we are drawing parallel is why this is not coming from the BJP, the ruling party. It spreads misogyny and get simply getting out of the outrage is irrespective of the political affiliation should be coming.
Between the BJP and the Congress. I have to say that the narrative online hasn't. The narrative online has equally condemned the people who made this statement, the person who made the statement, and all those individuals, including the speaker on the floor of the assembly, who laughed at these statements. So the narrative online is unforgiving on both sides. I have to say that. I have to say that. I am completely out of time. But thank you both very much for joining us. Our politicians have tweeted about it, retweeted about it. But while unfortunately no action has been taken, an apology has in fact been accepted. We will check the details of this story, but I want to shift our focus now to the other story that we're tracking on the social network tonight. Well, it is that time of the year where we look at the year gone by. Now, Google has revealed the 2021 year in searches. Now, this is a trend that highlights whatever has been trending through the course of the year, what have been the most popular searches on Google. So, what really did Indians Google in 2021? Well, it does appear that cricket and COVID were both top of mind. Now, this is a very interesting revelation. These are unprecedented times. And to talk more about how these trends are actually devised, we have Sapna Chadda from Google joining us. She's Vice President Marketing India and Southeast Asia. Thanks very much, Ms. Chadda, for speaking with us. You know, the first question that comes to mind is, tell us a little bit about how Google arrives at these trends.
That's a great question. I mean, the reason why we do year in search, it comes down to our mission. Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And search is a great way to discover a broad range of information. And there's no greater barometer of consumer intent and what people in the world care about than what they're looking for on search. And when it comes to how we put these results together, Google's year in search is an annual look, and so it's reflective of the year into the year's top trending Google searches. And so what that means is we look at the aggregation of trillions of search queries over the year, and then we use a methodology that compares the percentage increase in searches for a specific term over a specified time period. And so when we're basically looking for spikes and significant spikes year over year, so that also the list has variance from year to year. So it's not based on just the absolute number of searches, but the spike, and are we seeing trends? And we implement a minimum threshold, of course, to make sure that any queries with very small search volume don't get counted in this. This is really around what are the big trends based on the aggregation of trillions of search queries over the year.
Okay, that's really fascinating. But you know, if you look at what the trends for 2021 have revealed, people seem to be worried about the pandemic, and it also seems almost like they took solace in sport. We're living, of course, in unprecedented times. What's the defining highlight of 2021 in these trends?
Yeah, you know, unprecedented for sure. And obviously, COVID and the coronavirus has been on our list last year as well. But interestingly, sports continues to widely trend, and it takes the top spot from cricket, IPL to the T20 World Cup. football with the Euro Cup and Copa America and the Tokyo Olympics, right? Like top highlights were clearly continued to be sports, but COVID has taken a precedence as well. This year with rollouts starting in March and continuing over the course of the year, it was specifically vaccination